Honestly, guys, the more shock and awe we keep having in this gaming industry is going to leave a lot of people very scared of what the future has in store for us. We had the EA thing recently, a lot of stuff, there's going to be closures, there's going to be layoffs potentially, a whole lot of revamping, price increases for video games, and now Xbox is doing something very interesting, let's say, to the Xbox Game Pass. So we will take a look at that, but before we get into that, I actually have a little bit of info regarding the channel. So for pretty much all the videos that we've done so far, I have more or less labeled this thing as a podcast, just because it is just me on the microphone talking to you guys about whatever piece of information there is. And I do have future plans to maybe eventually offloading all of this YouTube content to other platforms, maybe Spotify or wherever, and just audio-based format only. But YouTube nonetheless decided to take the entire playlist and make it into a podcast playlist, which is a completely separate entity within YouTube's catalog of content. They did that, and then it more or less made me either choose to get rid of it or to embrace it and then make it a legitimate thing. So currently right now, the podcast is called the Battle Drum Podcast. That is definitely a placeholder. I do want to make it a little bit different or a little bit more, professional, I guess, than just labeling based off of my online username that I've used for well over a decade at this point. I'm not sure if I'm settling on that. The thumbnail I pretty much threw together last minute. So if you guys check that out or see that, that is YouTube that just kind of took that over and then made that into a thing. Currently, I'm still thinking about what kind of name I want to give this thing, and waiting to see just how much growth we get from this. The growth we've actually gotten from the videos up until now have actually been pretty substantial. Subscriber count is almost to 700, so be sure to sub to the channel if you guys haven't already. I would greatly appreciate it, and also like the video. That also helps. So growth nonetheless has been pretty good, but I want to wait and see if we get a little bit more of a push from the YouTube side of things before I decide on a name, branding, and all that stuff, and then start offloading it to other platforms. So just ignore that or don't, up to you. All content so far is just on YouTube, so don't feel as if anything's changed or going anywhere other than me just trying to adjust the format on how I want to make these videos, which is more or less what I'm trying to do now, is just figure out what to do with this. If I want to change a little bit, keep them short, make them a little bit longer, I think a bigger audience is going to warrant longer form videos. But again, that's just going to remain to be seen. So we will figure that out in due time. But let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of today's video. We are going to be talking about the Xbox Game Pass getting a price increase. Though this does come with a little bit of changes to not only how the Game Pass thing works. I don't have Game Pass. I think I did get it when it was brand new for like a month or two, but I've nonetheless ignored it. I'm more on the side of I can't play everything that comes to existence, so unfortunately the Game Pass is not for me. My computer holds me back a little bit. But nothing in the catalog really piqued my interest that I wanted to have access to immediately, except for when it was brand new. I remember when Gears of War 4, I don't remember which title it was, that was coming out pretty much around the same time that they were releasing the Game Pass, but whatever it was, that was more or less the only impetus for me getting it. Other than that, I've kind of steered clear of it because I'm not into a subscription model service thing, paying what was $20, which is now $30 for the Ultimate, which is a very enticing subscription model that I kind of want to look into a little bit with you guys. So, but yeah, we're going to have to wait and see whether or not this is going to be a good thing for everyone, a bad thing. But again, this $10 price tag, which is a 50% increase in the Ultimate, and the Ultimate more than anything, is going to come with a lot more benefits that it had previously. So to entice people to get it, which I feel that, especially in the times right now with, again, the whole EA thing going down, games going up in price, especially for AAA studios. This does seem like something that was going to eventually happen, but we're going to have to wait and see how the dust settles after this whole thing. So we're going to take a look at pretty much just one article today. There were so many articles talking about it because it was it's pretty big gaming news, to be real. So we are on Game Rant. We got an article pulled up. Microsoft has announced that it is jacking up the price of the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate tier to $29.99 per month, but is adding 48 games in the process. Not only 48 games, but we'll take a look at that in a second. The Xbox Game Pass has steadily gotten more expensive as the years gone by, but while it is certainly more costly than it was when it was first introduced, that is for sure, because I believe it was like, what, $5, $10 just to have access to some of the games very early on? I don't remember. Again, I don't have it. I completely missed Game Pass, again, except for the first month or two that it was officially out. It's still the best deal in gaming. You're going to have to let me know in the comments down below if this is the best deal in gaming. I'm not entirely sure, to be completely honest. I am still just on PC. I'm on Steam. And I'm getting games that not only my computer can play, but I'm more or less waiting for the autumn sale that is currently going on in Steam, which is really, really nice. So be sure to hit up Steam right now because the sale is the Steam-wide sale is going on right now. But I'm pretty much just waiting for things to get a little bit cheaper, 10, 20, 30% off, buy it, play it, finish it, move on to the next one. I'm not interested in having just a massive catalog of games because, again, my computer's pretty old. I can't play all of them, most of them. So that immediately gets lost on me and immediately does not make me a part of the Game Pass or, frankly, eligible to begin with. So we're going to take a look at this little graphic right here. So this gives a pretty good split as to what the three are, and I believe they got a rename. The Ultimate was always the Ultimate, but now the other two subscription models had different names, but now they're called Premium and Essential. I think this one used to be called Core. You guys may have to remind me on that. Regardless, we have three different tiers, $10, $15, $30. Now, what they've added to the Ultimate is Ubisoft Plus Classics catalog. I'm not sure if that's every Ubisoft game that they offer in Ubisoft Plus. I think Classics is its own difference in the Ubisoft Plus catalog, but I've seen it's pretty much like all the original Assassin's Creed games, which it's kind of nice. But nonetheless, that whole catalog, EA Play, has been included, and then they're adding Fortnite Crew in November. I think it was like in the middle of November, and I have no idea what Fortnite Crew was, so I looked that up, and I'm just like, okay, so you get a battle pass. It's a $12 a month, which now comes included into this. So if you dig doing Ubisoft Classics, EA Play, and Fortnite Crew, then sure, $30 a month is in it for you, because now you get Fortnite Crew with the $30 a month. You don't have to pay extra for it, I believe. Yeah, that'd be the whole point. You get 1,000 V-Bucks, you get the battle pass for free, and you get additional skins. Honestly, if you play Fortnite consistently, that's pretty good. Same with the Ubisoft stuff and the EA Play, and then plus 75 plus day one games a year. So day one, Ultimate gets to play it. That's more or less kind of huge. I feel that from the perspective that this Ultimate is where you exist, where you play in a lot of these games, and this is pretty massive, more or less. I try to look up to see if there are player numbers, like reliable player numbers, of how many people own Game Pass, but not a good split between the three tiers. So we're going to take a look at that and see whether or not this price hike could be detrimental or a huge bonus for Microsoft. But other in-game benefits include from Riot Games, online console multiplayer, play and earn up to $100 a year in store rewards. Again, I'm not sure what the reward system is. You guys know better than I would, especially if you use Game Pass. But it just seems like $30 a month for 400 plus games playable on PC, console, and cloud, access to all of the stuff included in here. I think $30 a month is actually pretty good. Whether or not the premium and the essential tiers are as good or maybe not as good as just going all the way to Ultimate, you guys are going to have to let me know on that. Again, I don't know. From where I'm sitting, having access to all those things are good. However, if you don't care about any of them, like for me, for instance, the Ubisoft Plus Classics, cool. EA Play, I'm not sure what's in it, whether or not you also get day one access to all EA games in their roster, which could be good, especially Battlefield we're talking. But if that's not part of the package, then I could care less. And then Fortnite, I could care less. So for me personally, I feel like the Ultimate is just going to be lost on me. Again, my computer can't handle it unless I get an upgrade, in which case it's a hard maybe. I would more stick with the Premium just to see. And then Essential, there's not that much going on for it. So yeah, I'm currently looking at this. If I had a good computer, I'd probably land a Premium. Unless I actually cared, in which case I'd go probably Ultimate. So I have no idea. Be sure to let me know. Let me know in the comments what you guys feel about this, good or bad. But again, yeah, Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed 3, 4, Brotherhood, like pretty much they've got an entire list over here on this Game Rant article that I'll be sure to link in the description down below. But I mean, it's got a lot going for it, so I can't be too thrown out with it. It's like, yeah, going from $20 to $30, 50% increase in it is a bit of a tough pill to swallow. But at the same time, the amount of stuff that they're offering for it, again, has to align with the player base. I think those who do align with it will be like, yeah, sure, I'll still pay $30 for it. The question is that how much is the price increase going to force people out of getting it entirely? Or downgrading, or just canceling altogether and just going back to owning each individual game that they want. Really all depends. $30 a month is not the worst thing in the world. But again, it's the times, the economy, like all this stuff. Gaming right now is just getting so much more expensive because AAA studios are just having a struggle time trying to not only turn a profit, but also, this goes back to the whole EA thing with them getting bought out, potentially still. That's not finalized as far as I'm aware. But them getting bought out to go private, that shift in its focus as a company is going to be a good thing or a bad thing, and it all is going to really have to depend on what the corporate structure wants to push. So, I don't know. But at the end of it all, one thing that's definitely for sure is that people are going to potentially lose jobs over this. And this could be Microsoft's way of trying to stave that off and keep everything going keep the lights on for as long as they can. Again, I'm not entirely sure what the short-term or long-term effect of the economy on the gaming market is, but right now it's looking kind of sketch. It's really looking kind of sketch. If prices are going up, something's wrong. Something's really wrong. So, one notable addition to the catalog of games is that they're adding Hogwarts Legacy. That was like one of the major things that they noted. But again, there's a list of games that you guys can check out to see what got added, but it's like cool. The Essentials game list, yeah, not too much going on, but pretty much, yeah, there's so many articles about this. You guys can delve into a little bit more information, but that's pretty much the big gist of it all is the $10 price hike. Now, I wanted to ask ChatGPT what kind of ramifications or what kind of issues could happen from people maybe getting priced out, maybe deciding to go elsewhere for their gaming fix, or doing what I'm doing, waiting for a sale for a particular game that you can play, that is good, that is optimized, that is coming from a company that's kind of aligns with your values a little bit. So many check marks that have to go into it because you vote with your dollar. You always have, especially when it comes to the gaming market, especially when it comes with everything else. You want to enforce good, gaming culture in a way based off where you put your money for the most part. Not everyone cares for it. Not everything, every purchase pertains to that, but to some people it kind of does. And of course, if the gaming industry is suffering monetarily, financially, then what does that say for the player base? I mean, I want to say most of us are struggling a little bit financially. Some of us want to be a little bit smarter with our money. So who's to say? Maybe people need to take a break from gaming for the next year or two. Or maybe not take a whole break, but start dwindling down the amount that they consume. Who's to say? I'm not entirely sure. But what could this potentially mean for the Game Pass if a lot of people decide to downgrade or straight up cancel their Game Passes? So I tried asking, and what I basically got is that Microsoft has publicly reported, I tried asking ChatGPT again to let you guys know. Microsoft has publicly reported that they have about 35 million total Game Pass subscribers. The split, however, is unknown. I would guess maybe most people are somewhere in the middle tier. If a lot of people are in the ultimate tier, the $30 a month or previously $20 a month tier, that would be actually pretty interesting to know. Again, until we get those numbers, or if we ever get those numbers, which I doubt we would, I asked it to give my best guess as to how the cancellations would flip to almost like a net neutral or a net negative in terms of revenue, because they're outputting, I think one report said somewhere that they're making billions of dollars annually off of Game Pass. So pretty good returns. I'm not sure how much money they actually want to be at, like where is their focus with how much revenue they get from Game Pass. But nonetheless, if it is supposed to be sort of a flop, more or less, like again, a net neutral or net negative, we're asking somewhere between 5 to 8 million people need to cancel their subscriptions out of a total of approximately 34, 35, 37 million people. All depends on what source you're pulling from, but yeah, you're asking for maybe somewhere between 30 to 40% of the player base to cancel in order for Microsoft to be like, oh no, that's bad. So who's to say? This might actually entice people to buy it, and this might prove to be a benefit for Microsoft. We're going to have to wait and see what the vast user base is actually going to do with this. Again, I'm not a part of it. I've chosen my avenue in gaming consumption, and pretty much for me, it's always been the persistent online competitive games and the occasional single-player game that looks kind of fun, like Hades 2, indie titles for sure. But yeah, like right now, I've been playing nothing but Hades and Deadlock. That's pretty much it. Not spending any money on microtransactions and stuff like that. So I'm a really very passive, conservative gamer, to be a fiscally conservative gamer to specify. So again, I'm not everyone's case. I'm not sure where everyone lines up with this. Be sure to let me know in the comments down below whether or not this entices you at all. I don't know. Adding the Ubisoft thing is kind of good. The Fortnite thing happening in November is nice, but I don't know if that's really going to entice the entire gaming market to drop $30 a month on a relatively massive catalog. And again, this also pertains to people that meet the system requirements to play whatever they want. That's definitely not everyone. So it's like that kind of hamstrings the whole concept of the Game Pass subscription, is if people's computers can perform. Now, this isn't just on computers, it's also on console, and it's also on, I believe, it's also on cloud, so you can stream them, which is, I've never tried it. I don't know if I'd want to in the future. Maybe. It's a hard maybe, but PC, console, and cloud, so there are other avenues. So if you have an Xbox Series X or whatever, or maybe you're looking forward to the next Xbox console that we took a look at, was that last week, I think? In a recent video, we took a look at Xbox having an idea of what their next console is going to be. And I'm guessing it's still going to be a split between a custom built high grade PC and a console, and the price is going to be somewhere in the middle. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see on that one, but console people might get more of a benefit out of this than PC people for sure. But if you do have PC and you meet system requirements for a lot of games, you will probably be dropping that $30 a month. And I'm willing to bet there are a lot of people out there that are just like, yes, let's go. $30 a month for all of this? Dude, I'm down. I'm here for it. I feel it. I'm just not there. So this is still nonetheless interesting. And it's the times, guys. It's really the times. Like, money-wise, a lot of these companies are just, I don't want to say they're struggling, but they're nonetheless looking out for themselves in a way, for sure. But it's to keep the lights on, more or less. Not to really downscale the massive infrastructure that is Microsoft and all the subsidiaries that Microsoft owns, Activision, Blizzard, yada yada. Like, not to say if they don't do this, everything is going away. No, there's plenty of things that they can cut. This is just something nonetheless to not only keep the investors happy to turn a tidy profit, but they couldn't stay where they were for whatever reason, because the alternative is cuts. It's closures and cuts, and it's like where they decide to go with this all depends on whether or not we are willing to front the cost for them to go with it, whatever direction that they're doing. So we're at the find out. But I, again, kind of don't care. Be sure to let me know if you guys care down below about this $10 price hike. Does this force you out? Do you drop your subscription entirely, or do you downgrade to the middle tier one? So be sure to let me know, guys. And again, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and be sure to sub for more. We drop videos Monday through Friday every single day except for the weekends, and we stream at 9 in the morning Pacific Standard Time on Saturdays. So I'm out of here. You guys have a good rest of your day. I appreciate you guys watching again. I will see you guys tomorrow for another video. Until then, I will see you guys later.